I'm Kurt Shimmers. Every day, fortunes are gained and lost in the financial markets. News, trends, and even geopolitical events shape your financial landscape. Join me and my expert guests right now on Traders Nation. Welcome. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. Thanks for making us a part of your day. Don and I have got a fantastic show for you today. Taylor Letterman's going to be with us. He's a cryptocurrency analyst and trader. We're going to be talking with him about blockchain technology and the implications that's holding, okay, for future currencies, electronic currencies. Plus, Don and I have got a great list, okay? Oil and gas companies are on our list here today. Brand new, fresh list. You're not going to want to miss that. So we're going to be talking about oil, gas, cryptocurrency, and a whole lot more. Stay tuned right here to Traders Nation. We'll be right back.
Traders Nation. Get Pro Online DVD Trader today. Whether you're an experienced trader or just beginning, you'll improve your skills dramatically. Click on the Knowledge Center button to order your copy today. Traders Nation, delivering what you want when you want it. Traders Nation.
Hi, this is Willie Nelson, and you're tuned in to Traders Nation.
Yeah, welcome back.
Willie.
Yeah, Willie. You can get that interview over at Traders Nation, plus also at our YouTube channel feed, okay? Hey, real quickly, Don, I want to talk about Pro Online Trader DVD, folks, okay? You can learn how to short stocks, learn about candlesticks, charts, patterns, signals, resistance, support, all those things. Then once you get that down, man, you can go to advanced stuff, fib retracements, all kinds of stuff, okay? Get it at tradersnation.com today. Click on the More button, and you can get your copy here today. $29.95 plus shipping and handling. How about that, Don? Isn't that a deal?
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. You know, with Christmas around the corner in 8 months, Don.
That's right.
In 7 months, right? Let's make a great stocking stuffer. Just kidding. Get your copy
That's
today.
Right.
Before your stocking stuffer get done.
That and a barrel of oil.
Look at the oil. Unbelievable. Yes. What a phenomenal move that oil's been making, certainly. Some may not agree at the gas pump, Don, but nonetheless. Oh, boy. Nonetheless, in the markets, traders are making money hand over fist. Okay, they're washing themselves in oil, Don. Okay?
That's right.
ExxonMobil Oil Corp, XOM, is the ticker symbol here today. As promised, there's a new list for you. Currently trading at $81.62. 2.2 million shares exchanging hands on this bad boy. Bring your charts up on this, folks. Resistance right here at $83.80. Nice level of support that's been found at this 200-day moving average. Don, your thoughts on XOM? As in Mary.
Well, crude is trading up at almost $74 a barrel now, up sharply all year. And Exxon is one of the oil companies that probably can't get it out of the ground fast enough.
Yeah.
And make that gasoline that we all drive every day with our cars. So we have Exxon trading in here. Where is Exxon? Exxon...
81.62 is where it's currently trading at this point, okay?
And that's had a strong year, and a few of the others that we're following now.
Right, exactly. And quickly, by the way, folks, on our last edition of Traders Nation, we had Reggie Horner. She was with us, okay? We talked about oil prices. We talked about OPEC has agreed to hike in their output, but the price per barrel of oil keeps going through the roof. In fact, we even got some of those non-OPEC members, for instance, like Russia, okay? They're in favor of all these raising of output, but the price per barrel of oil keeps rising up, Don, okay?
Yes. Well, at $74 a barrel, they can't pump it fast enough. Of course, our domestic production now is beefing up very sharply as well, so we're not as dependent on the peninsula over there in Arabia as we once were in a lot of these oil-producing countries. And interestingly enough, these oil stocks, if you take a look at the 52-week high and low on these stocks, it's been a great year to have some of these oil stocks in your portfolio.
Yeah, phenomenal year for oil and gas, really, without a doubt about that. Don, I like the thought that that energy dependence is such in our favor. Now, as a nation, as a security of our nation, we can't be at their mercy at some of these oil countries at all, Don. We've got to be pulling it out of the ground. And with the addition of Anwar in our portfolio, we're hopefully on our way to do that if we're not there, Don. Okay.
And a lot of these oil stocks pay a handsome dividend. And one I want to call to the listener and viewer's attention is Hess, H-E-S.
Yeah.
Is the symbol on Hess Oil. Now, Hess Oil has been around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Famous, actually, for their Christmas trucks. But Hess Oil went out. Most of the people probably forgot about this. Hess Oil went out of the domestic oil business. They no longer have their gas stations, etc., and they are strictly an exploration company now. And here it is, $65.53, down fractionally today.
Yeah.
But that's one you want to take a look at. And another one that you may want to take a look at, lower price stock RIG, R-I-G is the symbol, trading at around $13.30.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that build the rigs that are out in the ocean.
Yeah.
So when they want to explore for oil, RIG is the company that they go to get the rigs.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it, and certainly RIG is a worldwide company. They got rigs. You'll find them worldwide. Somebody's got to go drill. Somebody's got to do it.
That's right.
A lot of these companies...
Go. No, I was just going to say RIG has been beat up over the past several years, but... I haven't looked at it in a while, but I did look at it several months back, and it was around $9 a share, trading up here at around $13.30. And, like we're talking about, oil's here to stay here in the U.S. We are now one of the big producers and exporters of oil.
Yeah, I'm liking it, okay. Hess, let's go back to that real quickly. So since you mentioned the dividend on that, Don, Hess saw a dividend of 25 cents a share back on 6/15, okay? Not that long ago, all right? Currently trading there at a little north of $66 at this point. 802,000 shares exchanging hands here today. Bring your charts up on this one. Nice breakout, Don, above that 52-week high. So I'm liking that, all right? You'll see that on those charts, folks. Hey, Don, let's talk about another one here today. Certainly Chevron Corp's got to be in the mix, right?
Yes.
CVX, Charlie Victor X-Ray, trading at $125.88. 1 million shares exchanging hands so far here today. 6.9 million is the average on this one. Don, your thoughts?
Well, Chevron, big producer. Lots of gas stations around the country. Yeah. Which are company-owned and company-run. Yeah. And so they pump it, and they pump the gas at the pump.
Sure. Yeah, and put it out there. Yeah, there you have it. Bring your charts up on this, folks. CVX, you're going to find resistance around $130.70. Very bullish move. It's up above its 200-day moving average, and that was that's lying there at $121. Okay, so Chevron Corp, CVX, trading at $125.88. Above its 200-day moving average, again at 121. Beautiful looking chart on Chevron here today, CVX. One thing that we did touch upon, Don, with Reggie Horner, again, I'll bring this up, which, by the way, folks, you can find that interview with her at tradersnation.com, okay? One thing that we talked about is we're pulling it out of the ground like crazy, right? But the refineries and there's these side businesses. It's just not only the oil companies, but like transportation. Folks have got to build a list, and maybe we'll do the same thing here, Don, is build a list of supporting companies that move oil or process oil or do whatever with package oil, whatever, right? There's a lot of those side businesses involved, and certainly we can get into that. Hey, Don, let's move on to, you have anything else you want to add to oil here today, Don?
Well, I just wanted to say that for the viewers and listeners out there that want to take a stab at oil, they're not familiar with the individual issues. You can take a look at the ETFs. XLE, OIH are two symbols that come right to mind, and they are baskets of oil stocks. XLE and OIH.
All right, so there you have it. One's an S&P oil, okay? You can certainly check that out. XLE, X-Ray Lima Echo. The other one is Oscar International Hotel, OIH. You can put that down on your radar, all right? Certainly keep an eye on that. We're going to be talking about oil probably for a little while, as long as it continues to perform in the market. and the geopolitical events that kind of push oil too. There's no doubt about that goes on, Don. Right?
That is correct.
Yeah. So we have a Bitcoin stock here today too, because Taylor Letterman's going to be with us. We're going to be talking about cryptocurrency after this next coming break. Bitcoin here. Here's a GBTC, Don. I want to talk about Bitcoin Investment Trust, currently trading at $8.88. Well, let's face it, Bitcoin has seen some pretty rough waters in the market ever since Bitcoin itself got up to around $19,000 a share. I don't know how many months ago, Don. But really, really choppy waters. You got to be really careful. That's our disclaimer, right, Don? You got to be really careful with Bitcoin trading activity out there. Stuff moves like crazy. Nonetheless, Bitcoin Investment Trust, GBTC, put it on your radar. Trading at $8.88. We're out of time. Maybe we'll hit it on the other side of the break, Don.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Yeah, we will. And so that's right. Taylor Letterman, he's with us. We're going to be talking about blockchain technology and the implications that it holds. What's going on there? What does it all mean? And can we profit from it? Stay tuned right now. Traders Nation, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Steve Forbes. You're watching Traders Nation.
Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. My pleasure to have with us here today Taylor Letterman, cryptocurrency analyst and trader. Taylor, welcome to Traders Nation. How are you today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Hey, listen. Hey, for those that don't know what Ethereum is, give us a brief update on what that, what they do and what's going on with that.
Sure. So Ethereum is sort of, we can easily explain it as Bitcoin's like younger brother in the space.
Yeah.
Ethereum actually makes it easier for us to program different applications that are decentralized on top of, much easier than Bitcoin is. We just expanded into this thing called smart contracts, and we see a lot of applications coming out using smart contracts, which is just a coded agreement between you and I, a contractual agreement built in code.
So it's software. What is it, like encrypted software? Like an encrypted software platform that allows folks to make transactions back and forth in a secure environment, something like that, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. So if we had a smart contract, we're using Ethereum, and I was paying rent, then we can have certain situations set up to where if I didn't pay rent, you lock my door and I can't access my apartment or so on.
Oh, is that
and so those contracts are built into place. And the transaction is just I'm sending you money or Ethereum, and then whether it works or not, and is the amount you ask for, then some other action can be taken place.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. So it's a little bit more than a payment transaction process, right? When you're saying that if I don't make a payment to, let's say, my landlord, which accepts this, right, accepts some form of payment through this medium, that they can actually lock me out. Is that what you're saying? I mean, you can really is it? Let me ask you this. So is it not only that, but is it the ability to really? Is there any limits to this? Meaning, certainly got to be maybe some legal, but is there any limits to what this type of software can do for folks today and into the future?
Yeah, there is no limit, and some Ethereum itself is, if we compare it to kind of oil.
Yeah.
Back to bringing it to like a trading example, is I'm buying Ethereum because that's how these contracts run. That's the computing power that I'm paying for to run some action or some software on the Ethereum network.
Right. So
the same way you buy oil, and you can buy that with the expectation that in the future the price of oil will go up, and then airlines and so on will need it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go and buy some now in our futures.
Right.
In that case, so we do the same thing with Ethereum. I buy Ethereum expecting the use cases and for Ethereum to increase over time, and then people needing to utilize Ethereum to pay for the transactions on the network. So every little transaction you pay with Ethereum.
That's pretty wild. All right, so let's talk about this because the BTC futures started in December, okay? How's this going to impact the crypto market? How do you feel about that?
So there's both pros and cons. The positive connotation being it's bringing more traditional retail investors into the space.
Yeah.
That's kind of what held the space back, is not having, it's somewhat difficult to understand, and it's very volatile, so it's harder for retail investors and traditional investors to kind of get involved. So it opens that door a little wider for those folks.
Do you think...
On the other side...
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
On the other side, it does kind of have some negative connotations, such that there's more manipulation. So buying futures, and then if I hold a bunch of Bitcoin,
right,
I can sell that Bitcoin at the same time, shorting the futures contract, and then vice versa, and really manipulate the market if I have enough size.
Right, and you must have been you took the words right out of my mouth. You must have been in my head, because I'm thinking the retail investors, because I think there's a lot more education that needs to go on when it comes around cryptocurrency, and the crypto market in general when it comes to retail investors. I don't think they're educated enough about the space to not only understand it, but you mentioned it's something here and touched on briefly, was to trust it, right? They got to be able to trust that market, and I don't know if they can necessarily trust that market if they don't understand that market, right? What are your thoughts?
Right. Yeah, and it's very difficult transitioning, and that's a lot of the clients I work with.
Yeah.
They come from a traditional background, so there's a lot of education that has to occur.
Yeah.
But it's still charts, and still there's fundamental analysis, there's technical analysis involved in the investment approach, but there's a lot more to do and understand if you don't have any technical knowledge or background prior to entering the space.
Right. All right. So how much volume is actually derived from the UK-based crypto futures products, since we're on this topic, okay? And even in comparable, how does it vary with trading on the CME or the CBOE?
I think there's going to be currently, of course, the UK product only started about a month ago, a little bit more than that. So it hasn't been live for long, whereas the Bitcoin contracts have actually been live a bit longer.
Yeah.
I think, and of course I don't trade in the UK through their futures contracts there on Ethereum, but the volume isn't substantial enough to really impact the market. Ethereum is also not traded in terms of the mass amount of market cap that Bitcoin has. It lies a bit below that, whereas Bitcoin's market cap makes up over 104 billion, whereas Ethereum is less than half that.
Yeah. Ethereum, what's with their future launch at this point? What's going on with them? Do they have that out into the market, Taylor?
So the CME released an index, sort of calculating spot price there for Ethereum, back in May.
Okay.
So, and then recently the SEC came out and sort of stated that Ethereum isn't going to be considered a security, which I think really gave way to CME actually getting some legs and launching a CME or futures product for Ethereum.
Sure.
So we may see that over the coming months, probably before fall.
Yeah. Is the government, are they scrambling to try to figure out what cryptocurrency is about? I mean, I don't think they're as fast as the market's moving to get cryptocurrency and companies out there that are in that space to the market, whether it's the stock market or to market in general, right, as a product. Is the government having a hard time keeping up with that? And do you find?
Yeah.
I'm hearing that they're scrambling to try to figure out what they need to do, if anything, and certainly they always feel they have to. What are your thoughts on the government side? Yeah.
I do think I don't know how much they're actually scrambling, but they are fortunately taking their time making a decision.
Sure.
Both fortunately for the crypto space, but also unfortunately for investors waiting for that clarity to enter the market.
I see.
So I think they're taking their time, educating themselves on it. There's some hearings back in late winter around their sort of expectation for regulation. And just listening to the hearing, you can tell they were very uneducated on the space and really didn't know what to go on with it. And media spinning that Bitcoin is used for just mainly drugs and money laundering, kind of putting negative kind of perception on it.
Yeah, all that good stuff. Well, I have to say, for once, the government is in good company, because if they don't completely understand it, they shouldn't be embarrassed by that at this point, because I think a lot of people don't completely understand. I think we're all trying to get our heads around it. And there's so many. The problem with it is there's so many tentacles to what this is all about, and the implications and where it can go. And maybe their approach is slow and easy. Maybe that's prudent for the government at this point. I don't know if we really want them to make snap, knee-jerk decisions on how this thing's going to unfold. And maybe if they spend the time to educate themselves on it, maybe that's good for the market and good for the people in this space. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think the best thing is if they take their time and understand it, then they won't stifle innovation. So actually, we need regulation, but we don't want to stifle innovation.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that because this is tomorrow. I mean, this really is the future, all right? Speaking about that, blockchain, where do you see the technology, not only today, but tomorrow? We got probably about a minute.
I think, yeah, just along with the regulations, I think there's a lot to kind of weed out in the space.
Yeah.
We need to get the manipulation, we need to get the trash products kind of out of the space.
Yeah.
And then education. So once those kind of start reaching that tipping point where we're actually putting some traction under the space, and I think kind of the world is the oyster. Any financial transaction that occurs.
I think it's a good plan. We're out of time. Where can we find you quickly?
Simplertrading.com. Head over there. We have plenty of information.
Head
about
on over
everything.
there today. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. My pleasure once again to have Taylor Letterman with us. Head on over to his website, simplertrading.com, simplertrading.com. Right, Dono? Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, head on over there today. Hey, it's good
Good
stuff.
interview.
Yeah, it's good stuff on crypto. Totally, Don, we got to learn more about this stuff. And I think some people are afraid to approach it, and because it just seems so complicated and so techy, right?
Well, the part of the problem with cryptocurrency and all the offerings that have been made, most of them, unfortunately, have turned out to be frauds.
Yeah.
So we have to be very, very careful with this cryptocurrency issues that are floating all over the place. I mean, this ETF, or whatever you want to call it, the basket here that we talked about before we went to the interview, the symbol being, what was it, GBTC. I mean, that has a 52-week high of $38. It's down to $8.82.
Yeah.
So that's the Bitcoin Investment Trust. So got to be careful.
Yeah, you totally do, and that's why I think some of those, we talked about this in the interview, retail investors just start making their way to it. They're going to where they know until this smoke clears on this. Hey, Don, do you own anything we talked about here today?
No, I don't.
All right, I don't either, and also any stocks we bring up today, mentioned today on the show, they're not buy or sell recommendations at all, so you need to understand that. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day.